Now we have Andy's brother, Ed.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Andy's older and shorter and balder brother. You know, usually when you're invited to attend something like this, you're highly honored, but in my case, I don't know, I hardly knew the man. You've heard a few stories about Andy, and I could add to them, but I say that a man's private, sordid life is his own. Can I ask you guys, how many of you could actually understand him when he spoke? You know, phone conversations with him were just about impossible for me. Before I go on, I just want you all to know how much Andy gushed about all you folks here. You were certainly a very important part of his life. When he spoke of your group, it was always with admiration, and for some of your members, it was awe. But please do know how much you all meant to him. Now, all of you knew Andy as an adult, or as close as he came to being one. Perhaps I can tell you just a few things about Andy as a kid. As Beth mentioned, he was a prolific reader, and ever since the first grade when he learned how to read. My recollections, the daily recollections of him, from the time he learned how to read until high school, was that he would walk around the house. He would hold a pencil in these two fingers and move it up and down. On the other hand, he'd have a book open, and he'd walk around with a book. And he did this year after year after year. He was also the least likely person to be taking part in your activities here. He took little interest in any athletic endeavors until much later in life. Just a few off-the-wall things about him. I do recall the time as a kid when he went into my closet and took a dump and hid it there. For Andy, a fart was fun, but the dump, that was serious business, and I cannot recall what the issue was that brought this about. He also had this strange fascination with cows, in particular running cows. Way back in the 50s and 60s in Orange County, there was still a number of dairies, and whenever we drove by, he'd look out the window hoping to see a running cow. He never did explain to me why that was so important, but it was something he always looked for. You know how it is. You go to college, you move somewhere, get a job, family, and you tend to lose touch with people, and sometimes including your own family. These last 2 years have brought me very much back together with my brother. We would email back and forth every day. I don't know if any of you were privy to some of his emails, but the ones he wrote to me, basically I had to get an encyclopedia and a dictionary to figure out what the heck he was talking about. He would just put these things in there that I knew were from mythology somewhere, and words that I'm pretty sure I never heard before. But they were part of his daily musings. And he was my favorite author. He really was. He wrote some wonderful stuff, and I hope some of you got to partake of that. He was definitely the smarter of the two of us, yet he never seemed to realize that. And I never know why. He also had an amazing memory for things of our childhood. He would relate things to me, things where he had to be like 3 or 4 years old, things I had long since forgotten. But he was right. When he would bring those things up, I'd go, yeah, I do remember that. So he had this incredible memory. Anyway, these last 2 years, we shared a lot. We reconnected. I think I got to know him better than I ever knew him before. And for this, I am truly grateful. There isn't a day that goes by when I read something or see something and then my instinct is to go to the computer and email Andy because he would like that. I learned a lot from him these last 2 years. And he taught me a lot about what is truly important in life. He told me many times that the two most important, the two only important things in his life were his wife Beth and his son Dylan. You know, I realize as we share some stories about Andy that, well, what I found is that there are others that I've kind of lost touch with, old friends or work buddies who I always intended to keep in touch with and somehow had not. But these last 2 years, I started contacting some other people and catching up with them, and it's really been great. So I hope we can make this a bit of Andy's legacy. I would ask some of you out there to just reach out to somebody you've always intended to catch up with and drop them an email, and you may find that it's really rewarding. You know, Andy may no longer physically be here with us, but that doesn't end our relationship with him. You know, he's still my brother, he's still a husband, father, and friend. And please carry him with you in the future. We've heard some nice things about him. I'm sure we'll hear a lot of more nice things, and I'm sure he would be very upset that he missed this by a few months. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.